Top 10 times people tried to shut down the internet. The web is an imperative piece of present-day life. Without web access, a wide range of organizations and occupations would be not able to work. Thus, as you can envision, there are a lot of individuals who couldn't imagine anything better than to see the web disintegrate. Since Tim Berners-Lee dispatched the World Wide Web in the last part of the 1980s, there have been various endeavors to close down the web. A portion of these assaults was completed by facilitated military gatherings and governments in a bid for political control. Others comprised of one incensed man tearing the wires out of an assistance box. From inadvertent digital assaults to thwarted psychological militant plots, here are multiple times individuals had a go, and sometimes succeeded, at closing down the internet. Top 10 Internet Stereotypes to rival KAREN 10 Texas man attempts to blow up the web. FBI arrest man plotting to murder 70% of the internet with a bomb. In 2021, a man from Texas was captured for plotting to explode the web. Seth Aaron Pendley supposedly intended to take out 70% of the web by annihilating a server farm in Virginia with a C4 hazardous. The U.S. Department of Justice advised correspondents that Pendley intended to focus on the workers of the FBI and CIA. It is said that he needed to destroy the theocracy that presently manages the United States. Specialists were warned of Pendley's plot by one of his companions. As indicated by columnists, he was a functioning individual from fanatic sites where he passed by the name of Dionysus, the Greek divine force of wine and custom franticness. He composed on the Gathering My Militia about his craving to lead a little investigation. He additionally bragged about taking a sawed-off AR rifle to the raging of the Capitol, constructing yet guarantees he left it in the vehicle. Had Pendley done his assault, it would not have obliterated 70% of the web. The actual foundation is dispersed across the world and upheld up numerous occasions. Pendley currently faces as long as 20 years in government jail if he is discovered guilty. 9 Man tries to destroy internet to hide embarrassing footage. Will China ban the dancing grannies? No one gets a kick out of the chance to be embarrassed on the web. However, one man took his journey to shroud humiliating recordings to the limit. In 2016, a Chinese man known as Lu stressed that somebody would transfer a film of him moving to the web. So Lu chose to assume control over the issue and set out to obliterate the web. That mid-year, having as of late moved to the city of Weifang, he had chosen to participate in a public wellness dance. In China, it is regular for moderately aged ladies to accumulate in the roads and partake in granny moves. Lu decided to go along with one of these granny moves, to the delight of a portion of local people. He told police that passers-by were chuckling and recording him on their telephones. Lu barely cared about it at that point, yet a couple of months after the fact he started to stress that the recording may be shared on the web. This was the point at which he chose to make a move. One night in August, Lu broke into 4 China Telecom Administration boxes and tore out the internal parts. Altogether, he caused 10,000 yuan, $15,000, worth of harm. Yet, Lu was recognized on numerous occasions on CCTV and in this manner captured by nearby police. 8 Chad's year-long social media outage. For a very long time, beginning in March 2018, Chad confronted the longest online media power outage in African history. Just 6.5% of individuals had standard web access. Individuals couldn't communicate with their friends and family. Nearby organizations attempted to publicize on the web. Writers needed to battle to get their voices heard. The public authority forced the boycott in light of developing disputes. Pundits have portrayed President Idris Deby as a fairly bankrupt pioneer and blamed him for mass restriction. They guarantee he is sticking to control, and that the online media boycott was an urgent endeavor to subdue hostile to government activists. As IT specialist CIPESA clarified in a new report, African governments with vote-based system deficiencies, paying little heed to the number of their residents that utilization the web, perceive, and dread the force of the web in engaging standard individuals to talk truth to control. 7 Disruption as Mirai botnet attacks dying servers. The web is overflowing with programmers and malware, however, hardly any caused as much harm as the Mirai botnet. The assault crushed U.S. frameworks when it cut down a large part of the country's web in October 2016. It focused on the IT organization Dyn, which controlled a lot of online frameworks at that point. The computerized attack caused a significant web blackout. It influenced significant sites like Twitter, Netflix, and CNN. The Mirai botnet was a modern sort of digital assault, known as an appropriated disavowal of administration, DDoS. PC workers are immersed with traffic until they become overpowered and the framework closes down. Specialists gauge that Mirai was the biggest DDoS assault ever. Programmers penetrated a huge range of gadgets, including advanced cameras and video players, at that point constrained them to assault Dyn's workers. 6. How the rebels sever Yemen's main cable. Yemen is in the hold of one of the most exceedingly terrible helpful emergencies on the planet today. Since 2015, Houthi rebels have been secured an overwhelming fight with Saudi-drove alliance powers. The Houthis are referred to utilize the web as a weapon, diving the country into a web power outage. In July 2018, 80% of web clients were left abandoned after rebel powers cut off the country's primary fiber optic link. The renegade powers cut the link while reinforcing their safeguards in the Red Sea port of Hodeidah. The rebels force prohibitions via online media networks and hinder the speed of the all-around debilitated web access. Clarified broadcast communications serve Lutfi Bashrif, and this comes in the midst of reports they plan to before long remove the web totally to cover their wrongdoings. 5. Myanmar coup government introduce internet shutdown. Just like the case with most present-day political contentions, in Myanmar, the web is a key war zone. At the point when the military junta held onto power in February 2021, they were quick to smother online contradiction. The overthrow chiefs immediately shut off all versatile information in the country, and remote broadband before long followed. In any event, 535 have been slaughtered since the military takeover. In any case, individuals of Myanmar are declining to show homage to the threatening powers. The night before the broadband power outage, there was a flood of individuals highlighting radio channels and correspondence applications that can be utilized without web access. Protesters rampaged for a disobedient vigil, utilizing candles to proclaim, "We won't ever give up." 4. Morris Worm, the accidental cyber attack. The world's first cybercrime, the Morris Worm, kernel panic. In 1988, Cornell graduate understudy Robert Tapan Morris was chipping away at an approach to quantify the size of the web. Much to his dismay, he would wind up dispatching the world's first digital assault. Morris made a program that would hop from one PC to another, checking everyone. Each time his program entered another machine, it would convey a concise message back to a focal worker which kept tally. The difficulty is his program, presently known as the Morris Worm, spread excessively fast and wound up stopping up a significant part of the web. The bug tore through the net, replicating itself between every gadget and pinging back to the worker. Morris had accidentally concocted the DDoS digital assault, a kind of advanced attack that powers gadgets to overpower a worker with traffic. His unplanned hostile pushed the web to the edge of total collapse. 3 saboteurs try to cut off internet in Egypt. 3 scuba jumpers were captured off the port of Alexandria in the wake of endeavoring to cut through an undersea web link and cut down the Egyptian web. The Egyptian Coast Guard blocked the group before they had the option to bring on any interruption. In 2013, Egyptian maritime powers distributed pictures online of 3 men tied up that they denounced had attempted to attack a web link. At the hour of the assault, Egyptian online traffic was associated with Europe using 8 links. So cutting one of the links would not have annihilated the web, however, it would have caused a critical aggravation. The men wouldn't uncover the intention in their thwarted assault or the event that they were working for anybody. 2. India's long history of internet shutdowns. As of late, India has hindered web access more than some other countries. The power outages started around the time that the public authority presented a disagreeable citizenship law in 2019. From that point forward, the nation has seen a flood of protesters standing firm against the Hindu patriot system. Specialists frequently react by suspending the web. They guarantee it is vital to keep the harmony. But numerous Indians have blamed authorities for assaulting their free discourse. The most unmistakable web power outage happened after Modi's administration shut down administrations in the districts of Jammu and Kashmir in August 2019. More than 13 million individuals were left abandoned for a very long time, before the web was at last re-established in February 2021. One onslaught against Internet's root server system. In 2002, the web was struck by what innovation specialists at the time called the biggest and most complex DDoS assault ever. Cyber aggressors arranged an attack of traffic against the 13 root workers that, at that point, shaped the core of web correspondences. Luckily, implicit protections kept the web from being taken disconnected. In any case, had the hour-long hostel endured longer, it might have had serious repercussions for web clients across the globe. Computerized security master Chris Morrow portrayed the torrent as likely the most purposeful assault against the Internet framework that we've seen. The best way to stop such assaults is to fix the weaknesses on the machines that at last gets dominated and used to dispatch them. Another security master, Alan Paller,